Have you lost your Sojo? You've got no idea where to get your inspiration from, absolutely no idea where to start sewing again, then this is the video for you. Hello lovely people, it's Cara here and I am so mad. So, something different from me today. I thought I'd share with you what I do when my Sojo goes. Just goes, disappears, ups and leaves. Now I sew a lot, you know this is true, but it happens to me too, that I suddenly become, I don't know, overwhelmed with how much I've got, or look at my fabrics and can't see the wood from the trees, go through my pattern stash and think, oh. So I thought I'd share with you my top tips on how to get your Sojo back. These are in no particular order, and something in here will inspire you and some things won't be relevant to you, I imagine. But why not share what I do when I'm in this situation? Particularly this time of year, we're just entering into a new year, new thoughts. There's lots going on in our world, there's lots going on with the economy, and how do you fit all of your sewing in along with all of your sort of work home life balance as well. So I thought I'd share what I get up to. So number one tip for me is inspiration. Now inspiration comes in all forms, and actually can come when you least expect it. So inspiration for me is principally about keeping an open mind, and I love being in places, so for example in a high street, and I love sort of observing other people, what they're wearing, what looks good, what colours are going on. I find that really inspiring. So I encourage you, when you're out, next time you're out, even if it's just at the Tesco's, or you're going to a restaurant, or you're taking the kids to the park, what catches your eye? What are the things you think, ooh, that's nice, ooh, that's a nice colour? And try and just be really open-minded to the inspiration that is around you. It's really easy to be influenced by current trends, and they might not be your thing. I think finding your own groove, finding what inspires you personally is actually a great top tip. Just go with what is inside and not necessarily what you see on the outside. Create your own style and things you feel really comfortable with. I think that would be great. The other thing I do that inspires me hugely, which I know you're already doing, is watching other YouTubers. So I have some people that inspire me tremendously. So for example, I've got Alex from Alex Judge Sews. She's very inspirational to me. I've got Michelle from the Sewing Bunny, lovely Liz from the Baker That Sews, all of the girls on the Northern Sew Sisters, they're absolutely amazing. We've got lovely the French Seams. You've got too many to mention really. I'm going to miss some out that I don't want to. So we've got Crystal from My Social Thread, Adele from Sew for Serenity, Beck from What Beck Sews, just to name a few. There are some really inspiring YouTubers out there. And then from across the pond, obviously you've got Tomcat Stitchery, Karina from Lifting Pins and Needles. Oh, the list is lovely. Kirsten from, oh my goodness, that's gonna the Dahlia Society. Oh my word, it's quite hard, isn't it? But these people, I can talk about them fluently because they are part of my inspiration and what they do. And I'll go back to my previous point, is it doesn't matter what they're sewing particularly, so you don't need to be influenced by the trend of that, but how they choose, what they choose, the colour they're choosing, sort of rotation of things that are going on. They are, all very inspirational. And by you guys watching me too, I love it when you tell me what influence I've had on your sewing, your Sojo. I think that is just, it's so inspiring. And I know when I shared my makes from last year, lots of people commented on my own personal style, and that I just go with my own flow. that I've got such variety, and they are all inspiring things in itself. The last top tip I'll give you for inspiration is, are there brands on the high street that you love? I am more of a boutique shopper than I am a particular brand, although there are some brands that absolutely spring to mind for me. So Boden is absolutely lovely. Probably something like Sandwich, I think they're still going. Jules, sadly, have gone into administration, but hopefully they're going to be bought out soon. Cezanne is a lovely design. These are companies that I do not buy from, I cannot buy from. They are very, very expensive companies, but also local boutiques. And in a video I've got coming up near soon, I'm going to be taking you to some of those shops, and we're going to do a sew the look scenario based on some things that I've seen that I really love and I want to help you, inspire you with. So that's inspiration, keeping open-minded, following some, knowing the sorts of things you like, and then having them in mind when you're going to sew. I think that's really lovely. Tip number 2 is, what do you need? What do you actually need? Some people have a clear out at this time of year, or you have a clear out when you go into your sort of from winter into summer or winter into spring wardrobe. What are the things that you actually need? So right now, I need some more pyjamas. I actually do. I know lots of people get given pyjamas for Christmas, or you make pyjamas for Christmas. I did not. I need some more pyjamas. I actually would like some more trousers to wear for work. I have to say I don't need any more trousers for work, but in order to make the most of what I make and therefore wear, I do need to make sure I'm bringing that back to a combination of a wardrobe that I can, actually wear. I hear all the time on YouTube channels that people are making a lot of patterns, or adversely making a lot of plains, or especially if you're making a lot of patterns, that you then end up with a wardrobe that you actually can't wear because you've got nothing to wear with it. So make yourself a list of what you need, and I'm going to share this with you. It looks quite extensive. So this is a beautiful notebook that came to me from the lovely ladies at Felicity Fabrics. So thank you very much, ladies. This is Cara's sewing notes, and on here, which I won't go through in detail today, are the things that I need. But also on here is another top tip, which I'm going to come on to in just a second, which is what leads onto this list. So far we've got what inspires you and what you need. My third top tip for you is your favourites. What do you reach for all the time? What are the things that when you put them on you just go, oh yeah, I really like that. This jumper is point in case actually. I reach for this a lot at this time of year. It's such an inspiring fabric. This was from Beyond the Pink Door last year. Actually, I think she still has something similar to this, if not exactly this fabric in stock. And this is a design, this is the Nora jumper, and it is one of my favourites. I've made this at least twice. Some other favourites of mine are the Sagebrush top, and I can make that with long sleeve or short sleeves. It's a really simple top to make, comes together in no time at all. And you could actually make it using different fabrics, as in, combine some fabrics too. I think that would be really lovely. Note to self. I love the Sagebrush. I love the Rye jacket. I've made a number of those. I love the Amia trousers. I make those and they feel amazing when I'm wearing them. But also it's about the fabric, isn't it? So what are your favourite fabrics to reach for? Is it a jersey situation? Do you like working with denim? Are you more of a cotton person? Or what season do you like making for? Not everybody needs to make clothes all of the time. What are the favourite things that you reach for, and can you recreate them? Or your ready-made items. I was watching Kath from Kath Craft very recently, and she's just making another version of a shop bought sweatshirt that she's had for years, because she reaches for it all the time, and I just thought that was really inspiring too. She needs another one. She's already got a style that she likes, and therefore she's going to recreate it. Couldn't be simpler, could it really? So you've got inspiration, you've got what you need, and what are your favourite items, and how can you go about recreating them. Tip number 4. So tip number 4 is, what do you already have? Now this is a handful of fabrics, literally just a handful. Although I don't actually have a massive fabric stash. I've probably got maybe 2 or 3 more piles that are similarly high to this. Now in comparison to some of my colleagues over on YouTube, this is quite a small amount. But what I can tell you is that even just in the process of picking this pile of fabrics up, I thought I could see all my fabrics, as in because they are like folded like this. But what's absolutely delicious is that I've completely forgotten that I've got this lovely border print. Liz from the Baker That Sews gave me this amazing fabric that sort of had tucked itself in, if you like, into the folds of the rest of the fabric here. But there's also fabrics in here that just inspire me by looking at them. In fact, they all do. But this glorious stretch mesh fabric, even just the sensation of looking at this again just makes me want to buy to make something. I'm not buying anything, but look here. Look, have you got a fabric that does that to you? Look at it. Isn't that absolutely stunning? Oh, I absolutely need to make something out of that. And that gets my juices flowing just right there. And then I see that, look, that top and the bottom fabric, how nice would that be together? So that starts to get my juices flowing in terms of what I could do. And the other thing, obviously, is how many patterns you already have. So what do you have that you could reuse? Now, I'm not going to take you through the torture of seeing my patterns. I do actually neatly store them. They're all kept in sort of A4 Polly Pocket wallets or envelopes, so I do know where they are. They're also reasonably tidy, so I've got tops all together, trousers all together, and then skirts and miscellaneous, dresses and miscellaneous. I don't really wear skirts, you know that. So that is another top tip. What do you already have? What could you sort of rifle back through and give yourself some inspiration from? Is there a piece of fabric that just does it for you, that thinks, I have to make that now? So I think that's really good. Or pattern might be the other way around for you. Although this is really hard to ignore, isn't it, for sure. Some other top tips. So where am I at? So we've had inspiration, we've had what do you need, what are your favourites, what do you already have. I'd also say to you, and probably my last top tip is have a clear out. Have you lost your SoJo because you're overwhelmed, you have too much, or can't see what you've got? You can't see the wood from the trees. Could you have a good old clear out and see what you have, reorganize, redo, renew, but also maybe let go of some of those things that are just weighing you down, and you just don't need to have in your life. Now, there are lots of places these days you can take your scraps to. H&M, for example, have a fabric scraps box, and they will repurpose it. Also, many of the charity boxes that you see in car parks and things, if it is a non-usable item, they actually use it for scraps to repurpose into all sorts of different things. So many of us have huge amounts of fabric scraps. Now, I keep mine to a minimum because I actually, when I'm cutting out something, I cut out as many things as I can out of that one fabric. So I actually end up with the tiniest amount of fabric scraps. And I wanted to show you actually, I've literally got one box full of fabric scraps. Maybe I'll put a picture of it in here, because I keep them to a minimum, and by doing that I don't feel the weight of what I own. And also, I'd say, because my fabric stash isn't massive, I also don't feel the weight of my hobby, and therefore I don't get bogged down and just overwhelmed by it, I suppose. So yeah, that's some of my top tips on how to get your SoJo back. So let's just go back through those one more time. What inspires you? What do you actually need? What are your favourites and you just feel absolutely perfect when you're loving them? What do you already have? What could you inspire yourself with, both in patterns and fabric? And could you have a clear out? Would that help you get over your lack of SoJo and reinvigorate your love for your sewing room, what you want to make? And then set yourself some plans, some realistic plans, or just let the fabric do the talking and go with the flow from there, and then let's just see how the juices flow and you get inspired again back into your SoJo. I hope you enjoyed that, everybody. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I'd love to hear from you. I do respond to every comment on my channel, and please click the subscribe button, because I love to know you're here, and I would really love to have more of you with me as I share my own SoJo and how I inspire myself, and hopefully some of you too, in terms of building your own homemade wardrobe, me made. Okay, until next time, everybody, stay safe and well. Take care. Bye bye.